right, you ready?
Yes.
All right, good. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Counterculture Podcast. Today, we are going to do an internal episode, and boom, boom, we got two cameras shooting in 4K. What's going on? How are you, babe? Business partner.
Business partner. I am good.
Yeah?
Good. Yeah.
That's
I
good.
think. Yeah.
You think? Yeah.
Busy.
Busy.
Always tired, but it's okay.
You should get always tired tattooed under your eyes like Post Malone.
I should.
That would
It's
look
true.
pretty cool. Yeah.
It's true. So
anyway, in today's episode, we want to talk about 2023, like a little recap. This is kind of what we do with these internal episodes, talk about a recap, how we think things are going, where we want to take things. How did 2023 feel for you with the podcast?
well, with the podcast, it just was a random thing that, you came to me with.
Yeah.
And I feel like it was a bit of a rash decision when we decided on it.
Yeah.
I think that you told me, and then like that night we went to Guitar Center, right?
Yeah.
Was it like that?
Yeah, it was. So I read a book called Outwitting the Devil, and I realized some things about my life. And basically the book talks about this guy having a conversation with the devil and what holds people back from chasing their dreams and achieving their goals and stuff. And the conversations that's had, basically the devil says that fear is the reason why man doesn't reach his full potential or chase his dreams, blah, 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 blah. The school system, society, how it's set up, whatever. And I realized one of the things that was most consistent in my life was the fact that I wanted to do content. Growing up, I was in bands. I did the playing shows thing, kind of the traveling band type thing. All these different things that I'm sure I'll talk about in a different show at some point. But yeah, and then as I got older, YouTube became a thing, and then YouTube was what I wanted to do. Roman Atwood was a vlogger, FouseyTube was a vlogger, and that was the stuff that I wanted to do. Pranks were big. I started trying that. But I've always had my hands in or dabbling in content somehow, whether it's producing my own content, other people's content, stuff like that. And then I was finally like, dude, fuck it. I think the only reason that I'm not doing it all in or fully is because I'm scared of opinions of other people. And then I told her, I was like, hey, I think we need to start a podcast. And that was all she wrote.
Well, and I don't know. I also think that you just maybe took some time to find your niche in content, within content.
Yeah.
It's I feel like you do everything within it, editing videos, doing Instagram stuff, doing short form, doing long form. And then finally the podcast idea came to you, and you talk a lot. So it was perfect.
I don't talk a lot.
Yes, you do.
You think so?
Yeah.
Yeah, I talk a lot. So we started the podcast, and we're now 5 months in.
Yeah. Remember what you originally said? Give me 6 months.
What?
Isn't that what you said?
What?
About the podcast. You said, if it's not working in 6 months, we can stop.
And it started working before 6 months.
Oh, yeah.
It did.
Yeah, I know. I'm
yeah,
just saying, remember when you
Yeah.
said that? And we're not even 6 months in yet.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm a person that likes to set timelines or time goals. That's why I like competition. That's why I do structured diets with people, things of that nature. I like to set a time frame. So I told Heather, candidly, she bought the shit because I run a gym, and I lost 2 business partners this year and a whole slew. We'll talk about that in this video in a little bit too. But so she invested in the podcast in the beginning. And then I told her give me 6 months. If this thing doesn't work in 6 months, we'll sell the shit and then just keep focusing on whatever. And it turns out that it started to work 3 months in, 2 months in. Thanks to
Rolo?
Not thanks.
I didn't know
to
if that
Rolo.
was the answer
Yeah.
or not.
Yeah. Thanks to Rolo. We went to so this is how 2023 went with the podcast. We got the stuff, and then I started interviewing local people that were around the area.
Yeah.
And
and the goal was a podcast a week from the beginning.
And we've done that.
And we were able to keep that goal up locally for quite a while.
Yeah. And then I DM'd Rolo before the CrossFit Games to see if that he would be willing to do a podcast with a smaller creator. And he said yes. And so Rolo was the only person that I contacted for the CrossFit Games to do a podcast with that actually followed through.
Yeah.
And so we ended up doing that. And then to be honest with you, I didn't know if we would ever like talk to him again.
Yeah. I mean, I don't.
Rolo is meme for time, by the way, for anybody listening.
Yeah. Go follow him.
Yeah, go follow him. He just hit 50K, so get him to 51K.
Yeah.
I didn't know if we would ever talk to him again. And then we were planning to go to Rogue. We went to
No, I want to tell how we got to Rogue story.
Yeah, we will.
Okay.
We'll get there. So we did Rolo for the CrossFit Games, and then we continued on to do local people.
Yeah.
But local people have been some of the most difficult people to talk to.
Yes.
And people who like don't have a lot of clout. I'm just going to keep it 100 and candid on this podcast. People who don't have a lot of clout, but have really big egos or have fake clout and very small egos are the worst to book with. They're absolutely the worst because I got like, there was like 2 or 3 weeks that I had no content plans because I had content plans and then got canceled on.
Yeah. I mean, I think that I also think that we were maybe thinking about the wrong people or thinking about interviewing the wrong people. And like, and then obviously that was proven, you know what I mean? Like that.
Claire Toomey.
That was like, you know, that they showed us their true colors. Like, okay, definitely not for the podcast.
Yeah, 100% for sure. I think that, like, to be honest with you, like, I just burped. I like interviewing the influencer types, but not like just influencers, right? So like the influencers who like have a business or the influencers who are like athletes.
Yeah, I think it's important to stick to people that we are actually like want to surround ourselves with.
Yeah, or that you actually have something in common with too.
Yeah.
Egos are just so big around here, dude. Like, I mean, it's crazy. So anyway, yeah, so then we continue interviewing people who are local, and then Rogue comes up. You can tell the Rogue story.
So we were on the way to the Packer game to sit in box seats that we got for free.
Fucking rich.
No, not because we're rich, because they were gifted to us, and it was so cool because the box seats at Lambeau are amazing. Anyway, why were we talking about it? I was like, I think I just said I had such bad FOMO about not going to Wodapalooza last year. And, you know, we should go to these events and like do the podcast. And I'm like, okay, let's just look at flights. So I just hop on the Southwest app and check out flights, and they're so cheap. They were like $80 or something.
Yeah.
Because I was booking it in August, and then this was in August, and Rogue was Halloween weekend, and then Wodapalooza is next week. So it was like January, you know? Mm-hmm. So I was like, oh my God. So I just booked our flights on the way to the Packer game there. Yeah. And I'm like, we'll figure out the flights home later.
Yeah.
And then, oh no, it wasn't to Austin, to Rogue. We're like, let's go to Alpha Land, because we've been wanting to go to Alpha Land because we've been following like Christian Guzman and Max Tuning, and we're like, maybe we can go see if Max will be on the podcast.
Yeah. Which, by the way, he said yeah.
Yeah, he did.
Anyway.
Yeah, Max. And then, yeah, so we decided to fly into Houston, and then we ended up driving to Austin for the Rogue Invitational, like later in the week or whatever. But yeah, we just booked it and had no plan. Zero plan.
Yeah, we had no plan when we were going to Texas on what we were going to do. We just knew that we wanted to go do this thing. And I think that that's like super important. So many people like wait for the perfect opportunity, the perfect moment, and they want everything to be aligned, and they want all the plans and shit before they take action on something. And we were just like, we had a feeling, let's just fucking chase it. It's
risk taking. I mean,
yeah.
you're not going to reap any reward without taking risk. And
Because you'll never know.
Yeah.
You could never, ever know if something's going to be good or bad for you unless you try it, unless you're talking about like heroin.
and I really think that was like a big lesson too, because even on the way to Rogue,
Yeah.
you were bumming like,
Yeah, I
oh
was
my
going to
God.
talk about that. Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. I'll have
was
you
that?
tell about it. I don't know.
Yeah. So when we land in Texas, we go to Houston, and I had lined up, or at least what I thought was lined up, like 2 or 3 interviews for Rogue, which was going to be good. And then for some reason, driving from Houston, or we had a cancellation from one person, but it was like the person had to reschedule their trip to the weekend before for the Forza, or Forza? Is it Forza? For the whatever, the race, the Formula Forza, that's a video
It's
game.
Forza.
For the Formula One race. The person had to reschedule their trip for the Formula One race the weekend before. And so I'm like, at that moment, I'm bumming out because I'm like, oh, somebody canceled, of course, you know? And so we are going to Austin literally with no plan. And the only person that I had confirmed for sure, in quotes, was Gabe, the owner of Paper Street Coffee. And I had somebody else lined up too, but I don't know. I think it was kind of a wash. Like it was like, I don't think that the dude ever actually planned on doing it. He just wanted us to show up for his event.
Yeah.
Type thing. And so,
Which we did, by the way.
yeah, we went to the event and it was cool.
Yeah,
a
it was
cool
good.
event.
It was fine. It's fine.
So anyway, and he's a cool dude, and I got no problems with him. But anyway, so we go to Rogue on Thursday when like nobody's there, and we're walking around, and we just wanted to go like say hey to Gabe. And Gabe confirmed with us. He's the one that asked us if we were still on for the next day to do the podcast.
And
I was
that's
like,
when we knew he was our people.
yeah, and that's when we knew. I was like, yes, dude, because we know nothing about Gabe at
Yeah.
this point, like nothing at all. And yeah, he ended up being super cool. And then lo and behold, the next day we do the podcast with Gabe, and then the firestorm just starts happening, which was like just such a blessing. And it was because of Rolo, Meme for Time. He just introduced us to everybody. And anytime that he had a chance to introduce us to somebody, if somebody like came by the booth, Hannah Black, Jesse Smith, who else? Travis from Vindicate,
Bella Martin.
Bella Martin, all these different people.
Fittest accountant.
The fittest accountant, John, our accountant now. All these different people we end up doing an interview with. And yeah, it's just a testament to, you never know what can happen when you put forth the effort and take the risk and take the jump. And I think in 2024, that's what I want people to realize is like, take the fucking leap, take the jump. Like all of my friends now who talk to me about things that they want to do, I'm like, I don't really care about hearing if you want to do some shit.
Right.
Show me that you want to do it. And I've always been that way, but I have to attribute it to Roderick, to be honest, because Roderick was just like, and aside from that, he's been on my ass to post content.
Yeah, he has.
And that's how I know, like, he is like my people. He is a true friend, like a person that wants to see you succeed. Yeah. And then so from there, we went to Legends.
Yeah, well, that was another funny story.
Yeah, that is
All these funny stories.
Yeah,
Which I don't know, maybe meant to be, but
I think it's God's timing.
so let's see. Last New Year's Day, a year ago today. Holy cow.
Yeah, don't mention the company.
Okay.
Yeah, don't mention the company.
We won a big giveaway. And part of this giveaway was a trip to a wellness resort in like right outside of Phoenix, Scottsdale area. So I booked it probably in the summer, late summer, I think, maybe July or something like that. I had booked the trip for the second weekend in December. It was like December 8th through 11th or something like that. And so whatever, go about the rest of our lives, the rest of the year. After Rogue, we got home and we were looking at Vindicate. Well, Travis's Vindicate, but his business page, right?
Yeah, I was stalking one of our friends.
Yeah, we were stalking his bio or whatever. We looked in his bio, and he said in his bio it said next up Legends. And Justin looks at me and was like, "What weekend are we going to Arizona?" And I was like, "Oh, December 8th, I think, or something, whatever weekend that is." And he was like, "Oh my God, Legends is the same weekend. Where are we going? And I was like, we're flying to Phoenix. He's like, it's in Phoenix. So this just happened to fall on the same weekend that we had no idea, randomly. So we ended up spending our entire wellness weekend at Legend
Yeah.
competition.
Yeah. Well worth it.
Well worth it.
Well worth it. Cause like, I think, I don't know. We're not the type of people that can like really just sit and chill.
No,
like we
this
have to be doing
wellness
something.
Retreat was stupid anyway. It was who we
Yeah.
wellness.
You had to pay for everything.
Yeah, it was very expensive.
Everything. And like, although we won it and we're thankful for it and we're grateful.
Yeah, we used what was given to us.
Yeah, exactly. It's like you had to pay for everything extra that you want to do, like any classes and stuff. And I like me, and we both agreed on this, that we would just rather drive the 35 minutes to the competition, hang out with our friends if it's a free weekend, and then do the cold and hot therapy before we go type thing.
Yeah.
And then use the food money that they gave us to eat.
Yep.
Whatever. So it was like, it was amazing, and God's timing for sure, because all these things just like this year just happened to line up for us and happened to come for us. And I truly think that when you're doing things that are within your purpose, like things will be handed to you. They are given to you along with like praying and all this different stuff. But, dude, it's just crazy. The more and more things happen, the deeper we get into this, the more I believe in God and his divine timing and stuff. It's crazy.
It was a very, very fun and fulfilling weekend, I think, especially for us for the podcast.
Yeah.
It was so cool. We just finally, like, we had a couple things lined up. We were kind of waiting on like people's schedules and whatever. And finally I was just like, let's get Polly on. Like, let's just do Polly. And, you know, and she was like, okay. She was nervous, but she did amazing. She crushed it.
Yeah. She was
and
great.
People were just watching us, like, as we were going. And it was really cool to see. And I think it sparked some interest, at least in the masters community.
For sure. Yeah. And also, again, like, I don't want this to just be a CrossFit podcast.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's cool to be within the community and be able to do podcasts with a lot of the athletes and talk to them about things that are not CrossFit.
Yeah. And I think people like that side of them. Like Aaliyah's podcast obviously is always a hit because
her feet.
This girl. Yeah. Her feet. Well, both of our feet, I think.
Yeah.
But
all three of our feet.
I don't know about yours. But no, she's done so many other things that it's just like super interesting to hear her story and like where she's come in. And we got to talk to her, see if she wants to run it back at Miami because
we'll see. She's going to be busy.
Elites only compete 2 days.
Oh, yeah. Well, then, sure. I think we should talk about some of the upsets, though, in 2023.
Some of the what?
Some of the upsets. And then we'll like go back to what we have planned for 2024.
Cool. Upsets on
everything. Everything. I'm going to let it go. I'm going to let it off.
I don't know about that.
I feel like maybe not like completely let it off, but I'm going to definitely talk about some shit. Like I want to talk about some shit,
2023 was hard.
Yeah, 2023 was a hard fucking year. Hard year. It goes down as one of the hardest years of my life, for sure. And I grew up a hard life. Like I grew up in a hard life. But 2023 was hard in like different ways than how I grew up. It was hard like emotionally because of dealing with like business, financially dealing with business, friendship wise dealing with business. I guess I don't want to say strain on our family because it's not like a lot of strain on our family, right?
I mean, it's always a strain, I think.
Yeah, there's a lot of stress. There was a lot of stress this year. So for anybody that doesn't know, I'm becoming more open about this. I feel like I'm talking about it more on social medias and stuff, but I own a gym. And this year I lost 2 business partners. One of them happened to be one of my best friends for a very long time growing up, like 16 years or so. And he just kind of just left. Like did 100% did us dirty, left. And then the second one, we got into it a little bit because I was actually planning on leaving my gym because I was stressed about how much burden it was causing, like personally, financially, because we just had differences on like how to run the business. He didn't want to like necessarily, he was a good guy in the fact that he wanted like his people to have a good experience and stuff like that. But he just, we didn't agree business wise, like how to charge people and don't give people stuff for free, things of that nature. So we separated too. And so then already throughout the entire year, I have been stressed over like not making money in this business and not having the opportunity to make money either, because our gym is kind of small. So like his classes took up a lot of time during the busy hours of the day, and they didn't make us any money. Wherein like I would have like way less than half of his people and be making the same, if not more amount of money than him, and like showing like clearly this is
I think what it boils down to is you guys just were never on the same page. You guys never had the same vision. You never had the same business plan. You were never on the same page.
Yeah, never on the same page. So we had that happen. And so now they've both gone. They're both gone. They've both left. And so now as we're going down the months of like no business partnership, 2023 became harder because now it was up to me to handle all the gym bills, you know, aside from like household things like groceries and stuff. And it's been difficult. It's been really hard. Mm-hmm. If anything that I've learned though, it's made me want to chase this dream more, because I don't want to waste any time in life just doing shit that I don't want to be doing.
Yeah. I think realizing, you know, trying to separate and decide what is most important to you and what you're most passionate about is the way to go, because like we've talked about, you can't, you know, be partially present in certain things. And, you know, something that really resonated, I think the other day you said, we were talking about how we think the podcast is going. And you said, I think the podcast is how did you phrase it? It's the way that a podcast would be with somebody who's not fully 100% able to be in it.
Yeah, I think I said like the podcast is performing how a halfway in podcaster would perform.
Yes, that's what you said.
Yeah. So, and what I meant by that was we're posting one podcast a week, and I'm only able to produce so much content based off of the one podcast a week in a week for all social media platforms, including YouTube. And we're not Joe Rogan yet. So we can't have on like Andrew Huberman or like some celebrity that draws a bunch of attention, and one podcast a week is good. You know, we're in the growing phases. Like we need to be producing tons of content and like putting it out. And that's like one of my biggest goals for 2024 is just to produce more content, like 2 podcasts a week at least, whether it's you and I, me and a friend, and then like a guest for the second podcast every week, Thursday's release, or whatever it is. I just know that we need to be performing more. I want to be all in on the podcast this year. No excuses.
Yep, I agree.
Yeah. So yeah, 2023 was rough.
Yeah.
What was rough about it for you?
I think just like obviously as your partner, just like watching everything that you went through with all of that. And then, yeah, I mean, it's not like it's just us. Like we have 2 little kids. So,
and I'm like,
I worked full time. Thank God I'm part time now.
Yeah.
First pay period, part time.
Yeah. Congrats.
But I was full time all of last year running a side business. You know, we have 2 little kids that are 5 and 3. And it's a lot.
It's tough.
Yeah. I mean, if it was just him and I, we'd probably live here at the gym.
Yeah, literally. We got 2 rooms.
But
we just make the office our bedroom too.
Yeah, like we just can't do that. Unfortunately, we have to, you know, provide a house for the kids and feed them and, you know, put them in activities and be present for them and
do parent shit.
Do parent stuff shit.
Yeah.
So, I think just, I don't think anything as a partner, I like me as myself, I don't think anything terrible happened to me. I mean, my grandma died. That sucked.
Yeah.
But nothing like catastrophic or nothing like, that's going to like derail me or something happened. But being your partner, obviously I'm probably the next person most affected by it.
Yeah, for
right.
sure. Yeah.
All of your stress and stuff. So, you go through all of that and
it's like, I'm one of those, like, I don't know how to say it. Like, I'm like more of a traditional man, right? Where like, I'm more of a traditional man in the sense where like hard times come, I'm standing 10 toes. I don't want to ask for help. I don't want to ask anybody for help. And like, this has been the year where like I've had to ask for help for things. And it's for me, a terrible feeling to ask for help because I so badly always am trying to be the person to help everyone else. But that's because I look at that as my role as a man. And I don't ever, it's been a fucking year.
yeah.
And I can't wait because I know 2024 is going to be so much different. Much different.
I think we're going to be making bigger decisions for 2024. I mean, I've already made I made a 2024 decision in 2023, obviously. So I don't know if it counts or not, but going part-time.
Oh yeah.
So dropping from full-time at the hospital to 0.71. So that I can have an entire week off, the busy week when we have our kids the most often, so that I can be home for them. And then, be able to be a little bit more present in my business. And then obviously I'm going to learn how to like use Adobe Photoshop and shit for the podcast. So
And help me out with the content stuff.
yes,
Yeah.
I'm going to be doing a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Hold on.
But I think, yeah, what I was saying is like, I think that we need to just be a lot more decisive about big decisions in 2024. Like we obviously took a risk in 2023 with the podcast. And then I made a risky decision by going part-time, but I just think it's better for our family. And I think some of the other decisions that are going to come in the next couple of months, I think a goal is to just be more decisive about it. Like, this is what we're doing and not look back.
Yeah, I think so too. And I think just being more willing to be like risk forward every single time, instead of thinking about it too much. I guess that's what you're saying. Yeah,
that's exactly.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, it was a tough year, and it was like a pretty isolated one too. We gave up drinking 2 years ago.
No, we didn't give up drinking in 2023. We didn't drink at
2
all
years
in
ago. I said,
2023.
yeah, almost 2 years ago we gave up drinking. We don't really like go hang out with friends and shit.
Yeah, it's hard to like get together with friends. I have dinner with my friends like every once in a while too, and but yeah, I mean, we haven't really attended. I mean, a lot of activities in our state are based around drinking, and we don't drink anymore. So it's sometimes it's easy.
Yeah, it's easy to say
nah,
no.
I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
But
So anyway, yeah.
not a lot of like. I mean, I'm having fun, but I like going to these events, and I like doing the podcast, and I like CrossFit, and I like competing, and I like the things that we've like decided to do. So I'm like fine with it. But I think other people might look at our lives and think like, oh, you gave up your friends, you gave up drinking, you're boring, whatever. But like, I'm fine. And most important for me is to spend time with the kids and and our family. So, and that's, they always come first. Like I will always choose the kids first.
I have a hard time like with people that like, people will look at the things that we do and think we're nuts, think we're crazy. And I'm kind of thinking like, I think you're nuts. Like you're doing what everyone else is doing always. And you care so much about what everyone else thinks. And you care so much about our life because we're not falling in line with what you do and everyone else does. That's fucking crazy.
Yeah,
you have one life and you're going to live it by everyone else's standard. That's fucking wild.
Yeah, I learned a lot about that in 2023, I think. you know, I think in all aspects of life, like eating, which we've recently changed also.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
We're carnivore, bitch.
I mean, drinking, obviously, that's been a good amount of time now. And then, like, yeah, making alternative decisions to just working a 9 to 5 and collecting a retirement and, like,
Yeah.
you know, what else do other people 9 to 5 people do? Like complacent things. Like in 2023, I saw this meme on Instagram that said, your salary is a drug that your workplace gives you to keep you like addicted. You know, that's what like. It's like your workplace is giving you a drug, a salary to keep you there. And I cannot literally, I think about that every single day of my life since I've seen that.
Yeah.
And I was like, I gotta get out of here. I gotta
Yeah.
because I just can't do that anymore.
Yeah, it's funny because like I talk to people all the time who are like, I wanna do this, I wanna do that, I wanna invest in things, I wanna start a business or whatever. I'm like, motherfucker, you're never doing that. The fact that you're just like talking about it and you haven't taken any steps towards it already shows me like you're not going to do it.
Yeah.
And sometimes I want to shake these fucking people because I care and I love them. I'm like, if you're really about it, you're just going to do it.
Yeah.
You don't need to talk about it. Like, don't talk to me about it. Show me that you can do it. And when you show me, I'm going to be there to support you 100%. But if you just talk about it, I don't give a fuck about what that mouth do.
Yeah.
At all.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Yeah. I feel like, you know, 2020, like New Year's resolutioners, right? Like I personally, I think that New Year's resolutions can be good for some people. I think some people,
Yeah. I think for people who,
normal people,
Sure.
right? It can be
normal people.
for some people that really do want to make a change. I think New Year's resolutions can be good, but for other people, it just never works. It almost never works. I always think right now is the right time, but I don't make fun of New Year's resolutioners because it can be a good tool for some people.
Yeah. I don't think there's any place to make fun of anybody. I want people to like try and
Better themselves
and reach their goals and like have goal setting and stuff like that. But I don't need to be like, oh, January 1st, I'm going to start like,
Right.
obviously, you know, you came to me with the carnivore situation and
We started on Christmas.
So,
Christmas Day.
like,
Yeah.
here we are.
Yeah, for sure. But I do think one thing is interesting that like so many people go out on New Year's to celebrate the year, and I still don't know what the fuck they're celebrating. Like, what did you do?
That was this is so funny. One of my doctors, it was her last day today. I actually worked with her today. It was she's a great physician and she's awesome, an awesome human being. But it was her last day today, so the office threw her like a little mini, like, you know, we took some pictures and somebody got a Costco cake, and you know those Costco cakes are very good.
Did you have some?
No,
We're carnivore,
but I
bitch.
was highly criticized for not.
Yeah.
Like, it was like shocking that I wasn't going to have cake for her last day. I was like, and they're like, it's New Year's Day, have some cake.
Yeah.
It's New Year's Day, let's go to the cafeteria for a cookie. I was like, no. I was like, you guys, I've been detoxed from sugar for literally 8 days now.
Yeah. It's just it's crazy to me because people only want you to fall in line with degenerate behaviors that they have because they know inherently that they're doing something that they feel bad about.
Yeah.
So like, I'm going to eat the cookie, so this bitch has got to eat the cookie too, because otherwise I'm going to feel bad about it. It's like, why don't you just not eat the cookie?
Yeah.
Like, you could also not eat the cookie. It's the same decision both ways. And the fact that like you're the one who's like patronized for it or whatever.
Yeah.
is-
I mean, it was crazy. They're like,
Yeah.
what? You're not going to have any cake? And I'm like, no.
But this is like the other, like, yeah, like you say New Year's Day, right? New Year's Day. These motherfuckers go out and they celebrate, or they have a bunch, you know, they go out drinking and they celebrate New Year's. And I have the question, what the fuck are you celebrating? Like, what did you do? What did you do in 2023, this past year, that requires this big celebration? And I get
Nothing.
it. Yeah,
They
right.
did nothing.
Yeah.
Well, it's
Most
like
people
Paulie
did
said,
nothing.
you don't deserve anything.
Yes, most people did nothing, but yet you're celebrating. There's a quote from T.I. and he talks about partying, right? I forget exactly how it goes, but this hit me when I was younger. I took my entire 21st year of birth, besides my 21st birthday, off from drinking because of this T.I. quote. And he said something along the lines of, y'all motherfuckers go out every weekend and party and celebrate, but I still want to know what the fuck you partying for. What are you celebrating? What exactly is you celebrating? If I was going to say it like T.I., right? And that's exactly the same thought that came to me this year. And Andrew Tate posted something about it too, talking about like, if I were to ask you what you did in 2023, you'd be like, I don't know. I survived. I paid my rent. I ate food. I managed to scrounge up meals every day. You didn't buy a Bugatti. You know, you did like all this like crazy shit. But part of me really resonates with that. Like, it's like,
Yeah.
why would you celebrate for some shit that you didn't do? Like, I don't have anything against drinking. I don't have anything against people who want to eat cake or whatever. But I also just think if you're going to do these things that are fucking bad for you, why don't you do it because you accomplished something? If you're going to do it at all, I think the accomplishment itself should be enough celebration. But if you're really going to make a whole entire party over something, why don't you do it around something that's really an accomplishment besides getting through another year?
Yeah.
Like, you've gotten through years before. It's something that you have proven to do it. You have the data that you can do that. You can get through the year. Mm-hmm. Do something else. Do something more significant. It's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's culture though. That's like, you know,
that's why we're the counterculture.
We're brainwashed, or well, we're not, but other people are brainwashed into thinking like this is what you do.
Yeah, you guys are fucking sheep. She said it. You guys are sheep, and we're not. We're better than you. Deal with it.
Yeah, I mean, I was passed out by probably before 11 o'clock last night, I think.
Yeah.
I was very tired.
Yeah, we don't really like...
No celebration.
Christmas is my favorite time of the year. My favorite. But we don't really like... And this... People are going to be like, you're crazy. You guys are just negative or whatever. Like, we don't really buy into...
You should just tell them what we did on Christmas.
What did we do on Christmas?
We cleaned this gym till like 9:20 at night.
Yeah, we came into the gym and we cleaned this motherfucker. Yeah, I love Christmas. I like to give gifts. I like the joy of Christmas, and I don't know, there's something like very nostalgic and nice for me about Christmas.
We're trying to get him past that, but
you'll never get me past that, especially when we start getting some fucking money. You know, you're not getting me past Christmas. Mm-hmm. But what was I saying?
Or something.
We don't really buy much into like the holiday stuff, you know.
No, I mean, I've worked holidays my entire career, so.
Yeah. So anyway, let's talk about goals for 2024. What you got for me?
I don't know if I can say it on the internet.
Why? Is it sex stuff?
No. No. I would like to transition full time to something else also.
Yeah, to your business.
Yeah.
I think you can say that online. Why wouldn't you be able to say that online?
I don't know.
Who cares?
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, there's one.
So that's my big goal. My big goal
goal
is to transition out of clinical medicine, hospital medicine, into my aesthetics business so that I can work for myself and make my own schedule. And yeah, that's my biggest goal.
Yeah, my goal, I have a lot of goals for this year. I want to get my fitness back. I want to get my health back in general. Mental, emotional, physical health completely back.
Yeah, I mean, obviously those are always great things, but what is something concrete, big that you want?
Yeah, I want to be in the podcast full time. I want the podcast to be absolutely full time. I want to interview, or I don't like to say interview because this is more a conversation, right? I want to have a conversation with, I want to do a podcast with somebody who's like mainstream, more mainstream.
Okay.
And I mean, that could be like a big YouTuber or like a musician, an actor, whoever, but I want to make that happen. I want one this year.
Okay.
I think that can happen. Yeah, but aside from that, like obviously get sponsors for the show, all that stuff. Going full time means I want it to be my job. I want to make money from it. I want to hopefully hire somebody else to do editing stuff for us, stuff like that. Like have it be a production, like an actual thing. Yeah. I got this goal that by 32 years old, I need $1 million liquid in my bank account. And when I get that $1 million in my bank account, I'm going to screenshot it and send a freaking picture to all my friends and be like, you're broke, LOL. And then take them all to dinner, lose the $1 million status. I just think it'd be funny.
Why?
It'd be
Why?
hilarious.
So cringy.
It'd be so funny. Yeah. What do you think? Think we can do this? Think we can blow this thing up?
Yes, of course I do.
Like this video if you believe we can blow this thing up. Make it our
And
full-time thing.
subscribe.
And subscribe. Yeah, we need more
Share it,
subscribers for this stuff to
please.
happen. Yeah.
Please, please, please.
So anything else?
I think still learning, but you know, I feel super awkward sometimes on the podcast because you're just better like at interviewing people, and I like to talk, but I also like, I don't know.
I can talk to strangers.
I got to get better at it. I got to get used to it.
Yeah.
I can talk to strangers too. That's all I do. Just talk to freaking strangers at the hospital all day long.
Yeah,
every day.
about why they're dying.
I mean, I don't just talk to them about that, and they're
Yeah.
not all dying. I mean, they are, but
Yeah, but I'm the person that will like start a conversation with like the takeout guy.
yeah,
Yeah. So
true.
I think you're getting better at it. I think you just continue to keep doing it. Maybe we just do you as the host one day.
No,
And I'm just out.
no.
So anyway, aside from that, we go to Wadapalooza next week. We leave for Miami.
in like 9 days or
Yeah,
something.
9 days. We leave
so
for
soon.
we leave for Wadapalooza. We're there for 5 days, 4 days, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday,
5
Sunday.
nights.
5 nights. We leave Monday?
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 5 nights.
We leave Monday morning?
Wednesday.
No, we leave Monday morning though to come back.
Yeah.
What time do we get back?
1:30.
Oh, okay. And then 2 days later, so we were here for Monday and Tuesday, and then we leave for South Carolina
Yes.
that Wednesday
Charles.
for Fittest of the Coast. So we got a busy January coming up. After that, we are probably going to book 1 or 2 of the semifinals trips. I'm going to ask God and put it out there that we get sponsored somehow to go to at least one of the semifinals.
Yeah, it'd be sweet to go.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we'll try to make that happen either way.
I want to go to both. And if we can get one paid for, I'll be good. Right? I think that'd be cool. Let's do it.
Yes.
And then supposedly we're doing some stuff in fall already.
Yeah, we
we'll
have
be at
some
Monster
plans in
Games in
fall.
July. So we have a busy year coming up, and we're going to continue to grind. So leave in the comments who you guys want who you want to see us talk to. If you like this, just her and I bantering, her and I talking. I'm going to have a friend on, I think, this week for a future episode, so we
Yeah.
can just bullshit and whatever. And we're going to make this happen. 2024 is the year that I transition straight to being a girl. Just kidding. That I transition to being a full-time podcaster.
Every time everybody says the word transition, it's awesome.
So I keep thinking that. All right, subscribe. Let us know what you think in the comment section below. Go follow our Instagram page, the Counter Culture Pod, Counter X Culture Pod. All the links will be in the description below. And we'll put our small business links down there too, just in case you guys want to donate to our Venmos and
Donate to our
make us rich. So anyway,
Well, I'd rather just put Botox or filler in you. So
yeah.
I mean,
Also, big thanks to a few people. Roderick, Meme for Time, Travis from Vindicate, Paulina at Paper Street Coffee, Gabe at Paper Street Coffee, Andrew Hiller, Savan. They both have mentioned us in their videos or their podcasts.
they have.
Who else? Every single person that's been on this year. We appreciate you guys so much. Thank you.
Yes.
Much love.
Any of our former guests too, if they want to run it back. I know TJ wants to.
Yeah.
Maybe Aaliyah would.
Yeah.
Who else am I thinking about? Who's gonna be? Oh, Hannah Black.
Hannah Black, Jesse.
She's gonna be off to the coast.
Hopefully we can talk to Chandler Smith.
That'd be cool.
So yeah. Anyway, thanks. Like, subscribe. Peace out. Goodbye.